Margaret Thatcher seemingly utilized option medication and was shipped them by novel writer Lady Barbara Cartland, again liberated archive Shah. Lady Barbara, who wrote more than rather than 800 books and was Duchess Diana's move grandmother, shipped the later Prime Secretary capsules to gear fatigue. Baroness Thatcher is dashingly told to include slept for just 4 persons several hours overnight. Lady Barbara as well shipped supplements to gear jetlag or journey disease front of a travel to the Far East. The Margaret Thatcher basis is slowly controlling the produce of her individual archive. As well turned on amongst them is a press briefing of a youthful David Mr. Cameron on the Europe solitary marketplace. In the largest latter party of archive liberated by the basis, letters show how Lady Barbara corresponded in Baroness Thatcher quite routinely and lunched in her. Though elderly in her 80s, she was written an ordinary of 23 books a year. In one email, dated back June 8, 1989, she wrote to "My expensive main secretary" following vision her the overnight up. "It is unbelievable, in all you do, how you can yet see as although you were 25, she wrote. Lady Barbara closed a new food of the public health motion in instance Baroness Thatcher always thick felt weary. The Romanist said Baroness Thatcher the food conducted oxygen supply to each portion of the flesh, consisting the marrow, and how as who elderly almost 88 by herself, she found it fabulous. And fair a few weeks after, on July 3, 1989, Lady Barbara shipped else food to the main secretary's journal secretariat, Amanda Ponsonby, for her to offer Mrs. Thatcher to get on a length travel to the Far East. She told it would not cause sleeping, but fair stops how terrible sense in the chief and ears. In November of the identical year, Baroness Thatcher wrote to the Romanist following a beautiful lunch and thanked her for a gold solud. It is not precise which the paragraph was, but Baroness Thatcher wrote, "I shall requirement it in the upcoming days." At the period, her Chancellor had obedient the monthly up, and a management problem had been start up. In another place in the again liberated archive are references to Baroness Thatcher take King Jello and vitamin C. Onto a section in Bustle Equitable Ammunition Depot in June 1989, the ex-main secretary was as well tender of electrical baths in that 0.3 amps of power was run via water supply in a bid to remain junior. Chris Collins, of the Margaret Thatcher basis, told he believed her concern in option medication was true, although references in the archive were unclear, maybe intentionally as the electrical baths paper engendered a lot of focus in the Planet's print. He told Baroness Thatcher's clique secretariat St. Bernard Ingham could not consider easily the experience of deadiness of a female lightly off her cart. The archive, accessible for the social to type of Monday as well involve a press briefing document on the benefits of the upcoming Europe solitary marketplace, spelled by a youthful David Mr. Cameron, who was later at the Prudent Study Division. "We trust how creation a solitary society marketplace will be nice for Britain, nice for Europe and nice for the planet," rest the discovery quotation, of the Sides Manifest for the Europe elections in 1989. Pages annealed by Direct Current set out how the solitary marketplace, due to begin in 1992, would assist industry, workers, consumer, savers, holiday makers. It comprehensive the changes in various sectors of the economics and was very favorable on the impact they would include. The archive as well show how Mrs. Thatcher tested to reject the retire of her Chancellor Nigel Lawson in October 1989, inviting it an ridiculous statement and a fragile and undignified suggestion. On to the mention, she said him to go off and believe once again. Documents as well relate to a management problem start up by Sir Anthony Meyer after how year. Time Baroness Thatcher won the MPS voice resolutely how December, documents Shaw at low one of her advisers afraid the was the start of the end of the Thatcher epoch. She leftward office space in 1990, following 11 years as main secretary.